So am I audible, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So waiting for 2-3 minutes more because some participants are joining now. There are 38 in the lobby. Just wait for 2 minutes. Yeah, so is my screen audible, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. So hello everyone, I'm Sagnik Mitra. I'm from System University University, and many of you are from System University, as I have seen. And I'm a third year student, and also I'm a Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador for India region. So let's start off with today's program. So let's hope everything will be audible because there is some issue, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this event is about introduction to Git and GitHub. And Git and GitHub is all about the world of open source. So what is open source? So let's get into that before just getting into some basics. So the event is introduction to Git and GitHub. I'm Sagnik. So the event flow will be, first of all, we'll be starting with what is open source, then what is version control, then what is Git, useful Git commands, what is GitHub, hands-on demonstration, how to use GitHub for open source, GitHub backstory, and also some famous open source contribution program. As you all know, that Google Summer of Code, Red of Summer of Code are some beautiful programs. So I'll inform you about that. And finally, there will be a Q&A session. So let's start off with the session. So what is open source? So the term open source, as you know, as you see, the term is open. The source is open. So the source is open means we can copy the source. So we can modify the source. So the open source is those softwares or those programs where we can modify, where we as participants, we can modify them. So that is basically open source. So basically their structure or the design of the open source program or the design of the open source software are available. So you can change them. So open source is a source code that is made freely available for possible modification and redistribution. You can download it. So let's say Mozilla Firefox. You can download it for free. This is an open source software. This is an open source software. Linux, you can download it for free. So the kernel is open source. So the products includes permission to use the source code, design documents, or content of the product. So you can use the code, the developers, they use the open source software's code. You can use the design or the content of the product. So some very beautiful examples of open source software. You all know Linux. Linux is there, Firefox is there, Android is there. Android itself is open source, as many of you know. Java is open source, and this is the open source initiative logo. So this company, this is the OSI, open source initiative. So they are basically managing all this. So they have the proper documentation and everything. And this is an Apache open office, and this is MySQL. MySQL is something that handles the database or something, and the Apache Software Foundation, and there are many more examples. So there is Ubuntu, you know, and there is the Ubuntu software. So these are all open source software. So now I don't want to make it boring. So this is the me. So criminals can secret exploits in your code if your code isn't secret. So what you will think? My code is itself open. So modern problem requires modern solutions. So now what is source code management? So GitHub and Git, this all is about source code management, how you are managing the source code. See guys, finally what matters is how you're managing your documents, how you're managing your file. So that's what matters. What is source code management? So source code management are used to give versions or divisions to the program. So let's say I'm editing some document in 1st October and then I'm editing again in 10th October and 18th and 23. So I can't remember all that. I can't remember what I edited in 1st October and 23rd October if I don't have a proper documentation. And who has time for proper documentation? So there is source code management, version control. As you see, when you open, let's say a very common example, PUBG Mobile. So when the 12th or 13th anniversary update came, so there was a version. So there was a previous version, there was a newer version. So in the newer version of the previous version, you can go to them and see them what was changed. So version control is that. So revision control or version control, you can change what version it will be. You can change. So if I am 23rd October, I am changed something, I saw aha and did something wrong. So then I can go back to first October. So that is basically version control. And also it can also be categorized into two parts: centralized version control and distributed version control. So what are these two? I'm coming to that. So this is basically centralized version control. As you can see, this is a window PC, this is a laptop, and this is a Mac. So this see different PCs or laptop, whatever it is, this means that it doesn't depend on what platform you are using. So the main concept of centralized version control, the word central, it is in the central. It is in the central. So it is the server and it has the clients. So the repository is located in one place. So you will from this point you will hear the term repository many points. So what is repository? I'm coming to it a bit later. Now let's just understand that repository is a folder. Repository is a folder where all of your documents, everything that is in the repository. So if a pencil box is there, so the pencil box is repository. And what are the repository items? The repository items are the pens, the pencils, the erasers, the sharpeners, everything. So this is the concept of the repo. Also, repository, no, it is not called, we call it repo, short form. And also, what is benefits? So if everything has certain benefits, so why should you use it? So easy to understand. Truly, because if there is a central server, it is easy to understand always. So now, what more point? More GUI and ID clients. So what is ID clients and GUI? So the interface is itself so simple that you can have access to that, and also you can control over the users and the access. So that are the centralized version control benefits, and also from each benefit there is a drawback. As the system is simple, easy to understand, so it can be slower. And as there are clients who are dependent on a server, so they are dependent on that server only. So if the server doesn't give them the access, it can be slower or it cannot work only. And there is also branching and merging strategies are difficult to use. So if the branching or merging strategies cannot be maintained properly, then what is the point? So that's the point. See, if you are using a centralized version control, then you have to remember that I am using a concept when a server is in between and I'm handling all the clients. So if I am poor, then they will get offended. Then their work cannot be done. So this is the basically drawback of centralized version control. Now let's go to distributed version control. So this is the version control that is used, distributed version control. So these systems are the newer to use. In distributed version control, each user has their own copy of the entire repository as well as the files and history. So let's say I'm going to my friend, I'm saying it, brother, can you please me the folder? So he gives me the folder. I took his folder. Let's say I took his folder on 23rd of April. So I took his folder on 23rd of April. And let's say after that day, after 1 month, he made change to his folder. So what I am holding? I am holding his folder on 23rd April. So that is the previous version. So that's where the concept of version control comes. And also, each user has their own copy. Everyone who is using has their own copy. For example, Git and Mercurial. So Git is our today's point only. So we will be coming to that. So now, what are the benefits? So benefits are, as it is distributed, as more people has the total control of it, it is more powerful and easy change tracking. After some time, I will show you what Git does. Then you can see what beautifully it does the change tracking. And also no need of centralized server. Why do I need a central server to it? Because I have the users all over who have the full access. They can change and they can send me a message, sir, I have changed this. Would you want to make it or would you go to previous one? So it might change it or might go to the previous one, everything. And also offline functionality. As I'm working on my own, so what I can do is I can work on my own. Then I can later upload that thing. So 1 second, someone is messaging me that he can join. No, yeah, no problem. Sorry. Yeah. What I always say, for every benefit there are drawbacks. So if something is easy to understand, it is less powerful. And if something is more powerful, it is hard to understand. So if it is hard to understand, let's say everything is complementary. If the system is more powerful than the GUI, then the interface cannot be that good. When I will be using the Git, you will just think, what is this? The GUI is so bad. Because open source, they focus on what performance will it be giving, not how it will be looking, what color it will be. That doesn't matter to them. And also easier to have mistakes until familiar with the model. So that's come from the first point only. If it is harder to understand, if there are more tools and you don't know what tools are it doing, what tools is doing what, then there is always a chance that you can mess up. So make sure that when you are using distributed version control, you know what you are doing. And if you don't know what you are doing, please don't do it. So now I'm going to version control graphical examples. So let's say a common example. This is a common base. So what are these terms? I'm coming to it later. So what is a common base, master, commit? So let's say this is just a base. So this is just the 23rd April folder. And let's say A and B. So B took it from A, he made some changes, and A has the folder, he made some changes. So then B gave it to A and their changes were merged. So now let's say on 1st September, B came to A, let's say, brother, I have made some changes to the folder. So let's merge it. Let's have your changes too and my changes too. So then they have a common folder. So then this is the merged commit. And this is seeing this also, this right button. This is a little bit easier and a little bit trickier. So this is the version 0, version 0.1. And here he took it, and from there are branches. So you will be after understanding the first picture, it is easy to understand that whenever the graph goes, if someone is branching, so that means that they are branching, they are making some changes, and if it is coming to the last blue point, then it means that their changes were accepted by the version user. So the blue is the admin. So if something comes to blue, let's say I'm talking about this point. So this point where it is ending here. So guys, can you see my mouse pointer? Anyone can unmute and say if they can see my mouse pointer?
Yes, sir.
Ah, thank you. So this point is ending here. It is not joining to the blue point. So it is not changed. The change was rejected. But let's talk about this point. This orange point joins to this blue point. So this orange change was accepted. So this is the concept of version control and distributed control. I can pitch you that, sir, would you accept my change? He can see what change I made and he can accept it or reject it. So this is the concept of distributed system. Why it is distributed? It is distributed because everyone has the opportunity or the chance to make the change. But the admin or the administrator has the power that he will accept it or reject it. And now there are some source code management or version control tools. So there is GitHub. So that is the main point. Today we will talk about GitHub only, GitHub and Git only. And there is also GitLab, Bitbucket, SourceForge, Beanstalk, Apache Altra, AWS is provided by Amazon, Launchpad, Fabricator, and Gitbucket. So Gitbucket, GitLab, and GitHub are all provided by Microsoft. Okay. So there are branches of GitHub only. So let's get into Git, or let's say get into Git. So there are some beautiful means. I don't always use version control, but when I do, I use Git. So this only means how powerful Git is. And you never use source control. Tell me again, you are a programmer. So if you are a coder or if you are a programmer, you have to use someday GitHub only. GitHub or any source control only, because it is that beautiful. So now let's get the point. What is Git? So Git is a free and open source distributed version control system. Now you know all these terms. What do you mean by free and open source? Free and open source mean it is publicly available and it is totally unpaid. It is distributed mean everyone can use it, everyone can make their changes, and there will be some admin who will be accepting or rejecting that change. Okay, and also the version control system. You already learned about version control system. Version control system means you can see what the previous changes were and you can shift to them or jump to the new one. So GitHub is a free and open source. Just understand word by word. Git is a free and open source distributed version control system designed to handle everything from small to very large projects with speed and efficiency. What I told you, if something is more powerful, then it is speedy and efficient. But that's come the hard part, that it is hard to handle. So the second paragraph is almost same. GitHub is a distributed version control system for tracking changes in the source code during software development. It is designed for coordinating work among programmers, but it can be used to track changes in any set of files. So I will show you some examples that not only program, you can track change of any file. You can add any file and see whether it gets changes or not. So now, this is the very beautiful part. You have to understand it very beautifully. So Git working model. If you don't understand Git working model, there is no point of using it. So let's say, before understanding all this, so let's say I have 4 points. A, B, C, D. I have to reach from A to B. So when A gets activated, A has to reach D. The middle portion is B and C. So here A is the modification you change to the code. So let's say Git is always local based. So what is local based? GitHub is a website. GitHub is a platform. It's a web platform. So that is online. You can clone that. What do you mean by cloning? Copying everything. You can copy a repository, a folder. So let's forget about repository, a folder. You can copy a folder and paste it into your laptop. And then you can change it in this also. So when you can change this, you have the option that I want or not to make the change in the main file, in the online file. So A is modification, making the modification or making the changes in your offline file. B is staging them. Staging them means giving them a platform, giving them a proper stage, that if they are in that stage, I can see, okay, these changes are made. And there is commit. Commit means commitment. You are committing to the local repository. And if you are pushed, so there are 4 steps. Git modification, Git staging, Git commit, and Git push. So what do you mean by Git modification? You are changing some code or something in the file. What is Git staging? You are accepting that, okay, I have done this by staging it. Stage. When a performer goes to stage, then only the audience can see it. So we are staging it. So we are giving it a platform that yes, it is staged. I have accepted that I made this change. And then there is commit, that I have seen that I have made this change and I want it to be committed to the main repository in the local base, not online. And then there is push. Push means sending it from local to online. Online is the main. Online is the code admin. So if you push to the admin, then it is only changed in the admin file. So let's say I am working directory and there is a Git remote directory. So these are the terms. Working directory means what I told you, Git modification. Indexing means staging. Git local repository, it always does the committing part, and Git remote repository, it gets the push part. So when I will demonstrate you in the Git program, you will understand it. So this is a more visually explainable. So this is a working copy. He is committing it to the local repository. So the middle step is omitted because the picture will be too big. Then you are committing it to the local repository, and you are pushing it to Git. And this is another person. As I have told you that this is always distributed. So in distributed, everyone can manage or everyone can change. Whether the admin will accept it depends on him. So this is the working copy. He is changing to the local repository and pushing to the remote repository. So everything has a reverse state. So if, let's say, this A person has pushed something to the remote repository, and this B person is working, then how will he know that there is a change in the main file? So his work will be done, right? That okay, I have changed something, but it was already previously changed. What can I do? So that's where the concept of pulling comes. So if you Git pull means your local repository or forget about repository, your local folder will be in the same stage as the online folder. It will fetch all the files, it will see whether something is changed or not, and if it is changed, then it will modify it into that. So Git pull means getting into the latest version. So what you do when you go to the Play Store and you start update, so that is basically pulling. You are asking that, okay, so this is the updated version. So this is if I pull this, then I get the updated version. So sometimes when an app shows that okay, you have to update it, either way you cannot use it, you have to update it. So that means you have to pull it, and if you pull it, then only you can use it, because it gets in the fresh state, it gets in the newest state. So why Git is widely accepted? Why everyone is talking about Git? There are many more. Why everyone is talking about Git? It is distributed. What I already told you, it is distributed. Distributed means everyone can use it. All the users and all the participants can use it. It depends on the admin whether he will accept it or not. It is compatible. So as I showed you in the picture, there is an Apple computer, there is a Windows computer, and it is also can be used in Ubuntu, Windows, anything. So it is compatible with every platform. So it is non-linear. So what is non-linear? That is basically not important to you. What is basically non-linear? Linear means it will go to a single state. But here, they can push it and they can also pull it. So there is a 2D structure. So that is why it is called non-linear. And there is also called branching. I will tell you about what is branching in the demonstration part. And also it is lightweight. It is I guess Git software is I guess 3 to 4 MB or less than 40 MB, that I can assume. So it is that light, and its speed is awesome. It has great speed. If you do that work online and you do that work on Git, you can see why Git is so powerful. It's so speedy, and also open source. Git is based on open source, so it is based on open source totally. It is totally reliable as it is an open source organization. As Git is provided by an open source organization, so it is totally reliable. So why everyone wants to use Linux? Linux is that much reliable and that much secure because it is open source. What will the hacker hack? Everything is available on the internet. So that's why it is that powerful, and also economical because it is free. So it is free, it is distributed, it is non-linear, it has branching, it is lightweight, it is speed. So this much facility is available in the Git. So that's why it is accepted everywhere. So let's go to some basic Git commands. First of all, git config. So I will explain everything. Git init, git clone, git add, git add start. Just see what thing I'm showing. I will demonstrate everything. What it means, everything I will show. Git commit again, git commit -m -a. I'll explain you what the difference between -m and -a. git push origin master. You have to understand every word. I will explain everything. And also git reward. So these are the codes. So now, before going to the demonstration, let's have a quick look at what is GitHub. So this is a presentation. So this is the total journey of GitHub. So GitHub is not only a company, it is a totally successful company. And in 2018, Microsoft acquired it. So GitHub is Ned Friedman is the CEO of GitHub. So it is an American MNC, and from 2018, it is a subsidiary of Microsoft. So in 2008, GitHub was first developed. It was developed with Ruby on Rails. I guess you have already heard the term Ruby on Rails. It is not that much widely used because it is some critical part. So GitHub was developed by Ruby on Rails, and it started in February 2008. It was announced, and the site was used by over 1 million users and was over 5 million repository. So think about that, how much strong their server was, how much confident they were that this will be a groundbreaking software. This will be a groundbreaking platform that we can host 5 million repository in the first year only. And also the valuation is 750 million. 750 million is GitHub's current value. 2012, the last valuation of softwares were done in 2012 for GitHub. 2012 was 750 million. So let's see how much billion GitHub is worth now. So now look at the timeline. So in 2016, GitHub was in the 4th list. In 2018, Microsoft acquired it, and in 2020, as you can see, if you are in LinkedIn or GitHub, you can see that there is a GitHub archive program. That some good code, some good programs are archived in the GitHub archive. It will be maintained for 1,000 years. And also highlight is, so what was maintained by GitHub? What else is maintained by GitHub? So Atom, the whole ID is maintained by GitHub. Electron, the whole software framework that is basically a native framework. It is developed and maintained by GitHub. GitHub developed it only. And also GitHub is an open source giant. So when I will talk about open source, that what open sourcing you can do with GitHub, you can see. So what services GitHub provides? Before going to GitHub, you have to know what services it provides. So it provides version control system. I don't think I will talk about version control system anymore because I have talked about a lot. It is source code management. It manages the source code. It tracks the modification if there is any repository, any conflicts. I already told you. And also there is a GitHub education pack. There's a GitHub student developer pack. You have to apply for it. You have to wait for 1 month, and if you get selected, then you will get some amazing resources. I guess they gave the batch we were selected around 2 months ago. They gave us at least 56 to 57 software just for free, like Canva Pro, everything. It's too much costly, but they gave us for free. And also GitHub has a marketplace service, so if anyone is interested in business administration, you can understand it. This is not anything about programming. And also there is GitHub Pages. Through GitHub Pages, you can host your website. My website also is hosted on GitHub. And there is also GitHub Enterprise for providing the cloud platform. And this is for GitHub Market. This is not anything about programming, I'm telling you. So it follows the SaaS cloud model. And also the 50% of GitHub revenue comes from 50% from GitHub Enterprise, and 30% from the organization plan, and 13% from their personal plan. And also value proposition, you don't have to need this. So this was just for the marketing part. If anyone was interested, and if anyone is interested about understanding their marketing strategy, they can message me. We can have a great talk. And now working with GitHub. So now what I told, it is here. This is your local machine. This is pull. Remember, I told the term pull. So this is pull. Fetch the latest code from master. Master is what? Master is the admin. Master is where the master is always right. There can be many branches. There can be many anything, but master is always right. If you pull the code from the master, it is always right. Local, create branch of master, write the code, commit it, push to remote branch, and then the make pull request code review merge to master. I will explain it later. So you see, create branch of master. So you create a separate branch, you create a separate folder, and then you write the code, you modify the code, you stage the code, you commit the code, you push the code. So there is 4 stage modification. The staging part is not there because it is just a picture. You are modify the code, you are staging the code, you are committing the code, you are pushing the code. So while working with any organization or any of your classmates, you have to remember this 4 steps. If you forget any of them, the whole program will be messed up. So this is a GitHub flow. So this is a master branch. You create a branch, you commit changes, pull request. Pull request I will explain it later. Then I will come back to this slide. So this is the Git part. So see, this will be explaining in few minutes. Git add, Git commit, Git clone, Git pull, Git push. Okay. So now the hands-on part. So if anyone is having their laptop, please install Git, as I already told you in the WhatsApp group and also the mail. So if you have the Git installed, then you can open it. And if you have not installed it, then I'm just showing you once more. Go to Git install. This is the first website, downloads.git. Go to here. So the recording of this whole event, I'll upload it and I will send you the link to mail. So you can download it from here. I have already downloaded it, so I don't need it. So you can download it and you can continue with my flow. So anyone who is, if anyone is downloading now, you can tell me. I will pause for some 2-3 minutes and then continue. And if everyone is downloaded or they will download it later, then you can tell me. Then I will continue. Okay, so I guess everyone is managing their own part. Yeah. So this is the interface. So let me get to a clear state. So you are in your desktop. So you have open Git. So what we'll have to understand that what are these? This first few thing is a computer name. MINGW64 is your compiler. Remember when you install GCC, when you install any of the compiler, C compiler, you have to install a separate compiler. So MINGW is my compiler, and desktop. Desktop is where I am in now. So even this curl also has meaning. This curl means this is a user. Under this curl, under the user, I am in desktop. So if I go to the previous directory, cd space dot dot, you know, from command line, you know. So this is going to the previous directory. So this is in the user. So if I want to go to the desktop, cd means change directory. And if I say pwd, present working directory, pwd means present working directory. So my present working directory is c/user/Sagnik. So this is my present working directory. So if I want to go to desktop, I just write cd desktop. I go to the desktop, and if you now see what is my present working directory, this c/users/Sagnik/desktop. So now let's say I'm creating a folder. Let's say my folder name is demo, and inside the demo folder I'm creating another folder where I will making all the changes. So let's say this folder name is demo2. If there is anyone who has problem understanding the part, he can tell me. I will stop then and there and will try to explain you. So this is basically command line part. ls means the list. The list, through ls you can see what are files and folders are on your desktop. My desktop is little bit clumsy, so many folders and files are there, but you can find your folder. So let's say I create a demo. This is the demo. So my demo is active. If it is not there, then it means there is something problem with creating whatever, creating the folder, creating everything. It has a problem. If it is showing demo and it is showing what? It is showing in blue. So the blue means it is a folder. Always remember, blue means it is a folder. White means it is a file. Green means it is a link. Means it is a software. So these are main thing you have to know before going to GitHub. So this is a link. Remember, this is a link. So it will be shown green only. And if it is a folder, it will be shown blue. So remember all this carefully because it is very much needed in while running Git. So if it is in blue, that it means it is a folder. You can go inside that folder, but I can't go inside this capture.png. Let's try. CD capture.png is not a directory, but if I go to demo, yes, demo is a directory. A directory is a folder. It's totally fine. So inside demo, I am showing the list. Inside demo, it is showing demo 2. So I am going to demo 2. So now you are in the directory. You are in the directory. Remember, now the part of GitHub comes. So after that, you will have to work with GitHub. So up to this, if anyone has any problem, you can tell me. You can just unmute or you can just write in the chat. I'm following the chat also. So I don't want to be like only I am speaking and speaking and speaking. I don't want to be like that. So if anyone is having any problem, you can write in the chat or can unmute the mic and tell me. Okay. So I guess I can go ahead. So please note down and also no problem in this. I will send you the recording. So demo 2, I am in my directory. Remember this all time because GitHub and Git, remember, you have to work all over your phone, whatever you do. You do competitive programming, you do machine learning, you do everything. You have to upload it in GitHub because that's where you can show in it your resume and work with other developers or other students. And you to use GitHub, you have to use Git because everyone uses Git. If you are working with someone, working with your friend, you have to use Git, and this is the basic of Git. So when I understood Git, I didn't understand all that. I didn't know that blue means this, green means this. But now when I understand, I see how ground level it is. You can just see it and tell it. Okay. So I'm in the demo 2. Under the desktop, under the demo folder, I'm in the demo 2 folder. So now Git init. For every Git command, you have to write Git before it. Just like CD means change directory, Git means you are working with Git. Git init. What is init? If anyone has done Python, then you know that the initialization function is init. So that's where the init word comes. So init means you are initializing as a Git folder. So under this folder, there will be a hidden .git folder which will be controlling and connecting it to GitHub. Initializing empty Git repository. So if now I can type ls, it is showing me nothing because what I just told you that it is a hidden folder. But see, .git is a folder there. So GitHub does everything so perfectly. It is open source and it does everything so securely that you don't need to bother about it. So now you have the Git init, and after that you have to Git clone. So what is git clone? So before doing git clone, so if anyone is there who doesn't have a GitHub account, then I will have to show it. Anyone who doesn't have a GitHub account, else I will skip the login part and directly go to GitHub.
Sir, can you show the login part, please?
Yeah, sure. So github.com, you go to github.com. Let's sign out. So this is the first page. You just go to sign up. Yeah, man, sure. Yes. What I want to tell you is what exactly the git clone does. So sign up for GitHub, and I'm not creating any GitHub account because I don't have any Gmail account left. I have created GitHub with all this. So you can type your username. So let's say, just for showing you, so this username is not available. Just put your username. This is totally easy. I don't need to show it. Put your username. See if it's available or not. Put your email address, and after that, give a strong password, because your GitHub account you need to do it everything. And there is a verify. You see that whenever you access to Google, there is some puzzles or some anything that what is the bus, where is the traffic light, something about that. And then you just create an account. And after you create an account, you land to this page. So this is the page where you will land. So this is the home page. This is your profile page, and this is the GitHub homepage. So see, first you need to know what is in the GitHub homepage before diving to everything. I'm telling you that before diving to anything, learning anything, you have to know whatever are there. So issues means some organizations are there, they are having their GitHub hosting, and if they are facing some problems, so that's why they put the issues in GitHub, and we can resolve it. I will show you in the last how you can open sourcing. So then I will show you what is issues. Marketplace, I already told you, it is totally about marketing. So you can go to marketplace. There is the tools available. Okay. So now explore. In the explore part, there are some GitHub chosen repos. So these are there. So this was published in a newspaper, I guess. This COVID chest X-ray data set. It was initialized in GitHub. So that's how what powerful GitHub is. So this is the homepage, and this is, you can see the, if there is notification is there, you can see here. Okay, I'm just showing, I'm just going through the website, because this website you need to know, because there is so much thing in the website that you need to know. And now go to your profile. Okay, now go to repository and create a new repository. So let's say give a repository name. So now understand it properly. If you are updating any of your own projects that you want no one to see, then you can make it private. Otherwise, you can make it public. Also, what is readme file? Readme file is an initialization file. So when you buy a phone or anything, you get a paper where the initialization notes are written. So you are buying this, have this, these are the working phenomena of this. So this is the readme file. So you can add a readme file. What is .git ignore? So if there is any list of templates, so git ignore cannot be tracked. So if you are wanting that I am adding these 3 files to my repository, and I want no one to touch them and no one to track them. So that's why git ignore comes and choose a license. So there are many licenses, and MIT license is the standard license. So MIT license means no one, the license means who can copy your code. So through GitHub, organizations like Google, Microsoft, Amazon, they are hosting on GitHub. There are some projects are hosting on GitHub. So they have the license part. So you can choose the MIT license and create a repository. Always give a proper name to your repo. So now this is the repository interface. This is called the repository interface. So now there are options, there are codes, there are issues. In the issues, you can create a new issue. Okay. So let's say I'm creating a new issue called title. So let's say I have a file A. I cannot rename the file. So I just type cannot rename file if anyone can submit new issue. So they can, so you can add the file folder, and that you can that will be a whole session newly. That will take 3-4 hours. So this is the pull request part. I will come to pull request part. So I'm not showing you this. So these are the actions. So what is actions? Build, test, and deploy your code here. So now there is projects. So if you add any project, then you can sort tasks, you can plan your project, you can automate the workflow, you can track the progress, you can share the status and wrap up. So this is a whole project management part. And also there is wiki. So wiki is so the roadmap of your project. What do you mean the roadmap? If people come in the wiki, they can see the current status, the documentation and everything. So this is a security, this is a security policy. And these are the insights. Through the insight, see, I have one new issue. I have 0 closed issue. I have 0 open pull request. I have 0 merged pull request. So now I can go to setting. So these are the settings. So these are the just basic part. These are not any part of programming. I am just making you understand what GitHub is. So here you can add any file. So let's say I'm creating a new text document. So let's say demo.txt. So I can add it here. Upload files. Choose your files. Demo.txt. Okay, sorry. I have written nothing in demo.txt. Let's write something. So demo.txt is uploaded and you can commit changes. So what you can do in Git, you can do it also here, but Git is more easy. If you learn Git, it is totally easy. So you can always leave a message or leave anything, what you are doing, what change you are doing. So let's say adding a demo.txt file. Adding a demo.txt file. Then you can comment directly within the main branch and can create a new branch. What is new branching? I will show you in the Git part. You can commit the changes. So this is a repository. So through this way, you can add file to a repository. Now come totally forward to the Git part. So here is Git. So Git is so beautiful that it does everything by itself. Just copy the URL. just paste it and wait for the magic. Yes, now let's see. The whole repository is copied by its own. You didn't have to download it, you didn't have to move, you didn't have to rename everything. Everything is done by Git only. It is that powerful. So now, after cloning, so let's see Git status. What is Git status? Git status shows you that if there is any file staged, you remember I called you 4 stages: modification stage, modification, committing and pushing. Modification, staging, committing and pushing. So let's say Git status. So no commits yet. On branch master, no commits yet. So you can understand the comment totally, right? So no commits yet. So now we will change something in the file. So let's say I'm opening the repo.event demo.txt. So let's say here I am writing adding a new line. So don't worry. So I know this is .txt file. You will say why this .txt file is needed in our program. No, I will explain. I will explain and I will show you the examples of how you can change the program files also. So now, so what it is saying? No commits yet. Untracked files, nothing added to commits, but untracked files present. So it is telling that no thing in the third stage, but in the second stage, in the untracked or unstaged file, there is one file. There is one file that had some changes. You don't know what change yet, because your brother or your sister, everyone can come to your computer and change it. So you have to first see what changes did they make. For that, git diff, difference, git difference. So you don't need to one thing. Okay, sorry. Yes. So why git diff is showing nothing? Yes, that's the good point. Why git diff is showing nothing? Anyone from the chat? Anyone from the can tell me why it is showing nothing and what wrong did I did? I am in the demo2 folder. I am in the demo2 folder. So which folder should I go here? I should go to the repo for event. So yes, that was a good thing. Every bad thing is a good thing. So I have to go to the repo for the event folder. As I was not in the target folder, I could not do the change. I could not see the change. So if I go to cd repo for event, so now if I see git see, it is showing me the change. So you have to understand this very clearly. So return no new line at the end of file, and after that adding a new line. I added this line. So he's showing me that this was the change made. So from return, I change it to return next line, adding a new line. So if I allow this, one second. Sorry about that. Yeah. So if I allow the change, let's say this is the difference, and I say okay, this difference I can allow. So now Yeah, always, yes. What Aman told. Yeah, and also, guys, Aman Chopra is also my fellow ambassador, fellow student ambassador. He's from UEM. He's also a beta my Microsoft Learn student ambassador. So yes, guys, be interactive. If you don't be interactive during an event, there is no point of the event, because I cannot answer to all 92 of you later, right? You have to interact. If you have some questions, so I didn't know Git, like say 6 months or 7 months ago. So I attended some event. I knew what Git was. So if you don't interact, you wouldn't learn nothing. If you are hesitating about talking, you can be in the chat. Me or Aman, anyone can answer you. There is no problem. But if you have any problem, so I cannot wait for like 15 minutes for understand, copying or writing everything. We have to be a little quick. We have to be a little quick, but I'll be patient if you ask anything. But if you don't ask anything, I cannot understand if you could understand or not. So okay, that depends on you. But okay, Aman is in the chat, and I am also following the chat. So now where were we? Yes, we saw the difference, and we saw that okay, it was a good difference. So we can add it. Git add, and also one good thing about GitHub or Git is it will show that what you can do, not only about what you did. Like I wrote Git status, it showed on branch master, no commits yet, untracked files, use git add file to include what it will be committed. So I can use the git add. So I don't need to Google search. It is showing me that git add file name. So I am just following it. Git add and then file name. What is my file name? My file name is demo.txt. Okay. Now see the git status. Git status is, what is the status? As you see the ticket status of everything status, git status is what is the current status of the file you are changing. Status on branch main, your branch is up to date with origin/main. Your branch is up to date with origin/main. Changes to be committed, modify demo.txt. Use git restore -- stage file to unstage. It is also showing that if you want to unstage this file, if I am writing git add demo.txt, then I am staging it. If I am writing git demo.git add, staging is add, committing is commit. So staging is adding. So if I am adding it, that means I am staging it. So it is also showing me that if I need to unstage it, always remember 4th stage. Always remember. Never forget. Modification stage, staging or tracking, committing, and pushing. Okay. So it is now staged. So if we need to be unstaged, then we can write, just follow. I am writing nothing new. It is showing me everything. Git restore -- stage demo.txt. So according to you and according to me also, if I do this, then my file should again show this untracked files present. So let's see if it does it. Git restore. Now see git status. What is it showing? No changes added to commit, modify. See, it is this much powerful and it is this much easy to understand. If you understand Git for one time, it will be beautiful for you for the rest of your life. I personally didn't understand Git that well, but now when I understood it and I see that okay, the UI is not that much good as any interactive UI, but it is so powerful and so easy. So now it is let's get back. So now it is also now it is again in the unstage folder, unstage condition. So we have to stage it. With what do we stage it? Anyone can tell me from the chat. To stage any file, what we should do? Because Git and GitHub is about everything: staging, more modification, committing and pushing. So anyone from the chat can write in chat or unmute the mic and say what we do to stage a file.
Git add.
Yes, we do git add. Git add, then the file name. Thank you. Who was it? What is your name, buddy?
Shayan Saha.
Thank you, Shayan. So you can unmute your mic whenever you want. Okay. Yeah. So git add. Now I'm writing the file name demo.txt. So I've added. So now see git status. So why I'm doing it again and again, just to make you understand that you have to understand the fourth stage. If you understand the fourth stage, then Git is nothing for you. Handling Git is nothing for you. You just have to understand fourth stage. That what stage are your file is in. So now I have did the staging part. Now I am coming to the, what is the next part? Anyone? After staging, what is it?
After committing.
Yes, it is the committing part. Git commit. Then if we want to commit, we have to leave some message. What I told you, that when we did the GitHub part, when we did the GitHub web part, we told them that we did this. We add the description. So in commit, we can write git commit -m. -m mean message. In OS or in any software program, everything in the middle. So let's say you are running a C program, then gcc main.c -o. This minus means it is instructing this O representing the output. Here this M representing the message. So if you are a computer science student, you know that you cannot write message without a quotation mark. So within the quotation, I am writing. So let's say I'm added a new line. So now one file changed, 2 insertion, 1 deletion. So why 1 deletion and 2 insertion? It removes return and again add return and adding. Okay. GitHub works on, if you add +1, then it will first -1, then +2. So GitHub works on that principle. Okay. So now see the Git status. So now remember one thing, that in the web where I created the repository online, going to Google Chrome, there no new line is there because we have committed. But after commit, anyone can tell me what is coming after commit? Modification, staging, commit, and then
Push.
yes, push. Thank you. The pushing part is sending it to the online. So now I can go to the online and check. So let's say I'm going to online. I'm opening demo.txt. So what is it? Return //. So that is the random thing I wrote, but there is no new line. Okay. Now let me git push origin master. Okay. So one thing, I guess the problem is there. Yeah. Yes. So there was some problem. You can just write git push. It will do it. Okay. So now just we'll wait for 5 seconds because it depends on internet and refresh our page. See, the new line is added. Just 1 minute before I opened the file and there was no new line. And after I pushed it, it was committed to the online repository. So I guess it is better understandable than any picture. So if I change a file, I'm changing it again. I'm showing it quickly now. Adding a new line, adding a second new line. Now I will not do, anyone from the participants will tell me what I should do here. First, what I should do. First, let me see what is the git status. So there is no more modification. So what I should do here.
Git add.
Yes. First we do the git add part. Git add demo.txt. Next,
So then you stage the file with no.
yes, but we already staged the file with git add. So
There's a
just,
commit.
yes, git commit. And for commit, not only commit, for every
Commit with a
we have
comment.
to write a message. Yes. -m adding a second new line. Okay, it is committed. Now what we should do?
Okay.
First let me see what is the git status.
Okay.
Yes. Now what?
Push the git.
Push, sir.
Yes. So first let me check what is the condition of my file. Everyone, first let me check what is the condition. There is no new line. I'm pushing it. Yes. Just wait for 5 seconds. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No magic, but I every time I feel it like a magic. Yes, there is adding a second new line. So you see, Git is nothing less than a magic. It is doing everything just by a command prompt. Okay. So now these were some basic example. Now I will show some really program related examples. So let's say I'm going to the repository, and so let's say eduflex. So I want to clone. So you see, so GitHub is not about just about 1-2 files. See, so many files are uploaded here, and you can see all the changes. 17 commits are there. 2 hours ago there was a commit. There was a commit code, and if you click this on commit code, see who changed this. Sagnik Mitra changed this, and he changed this line to this line. So you can see the whole code, what was changed, by whom, and how. So let's say I'm going to repo, and I'm going to let's say I'm going to eduflex. So I go to edu. So let's say I'm going to eduflex now. I'm creating a new folder. Demo for event 2. Sorry, spelling mistake. Here, demo for event 2. And in this demo for event 2 folder, I am trying to clone this. So what I should do? First, I should go back. To go back, you have to write cd dot dot. cd dot dot. See, when I'm writing cd dot dot, it is going to back from repo dot event. From repo event, it is going to demo 2. Now to demo. So now again cd dot dot. So now I am the desktop. So from desktop, I can do ls. And what I told you, you first do ls and see if there is a blue folder that matches to your name. So what I did the name demo for event 2. What is there any demo for? Yes, demo for event 2. So I can write cd demo for event 2. Okay, sorry, too many arguments. So I just put some space. You know this from programming, that if you put space, then it doesn't allow you to do this. So if I just remove the spaces, yes. So if there is any space, it will not accept that. Now we will do again the ls part. We'll go cd demo for event 2. So you are in the demo for event 2. Now you have to git clone. So for cloning, git clone, then the link git clone. Now the I'm cloning. So it is cloned. You can check it. If you don't believe it, if you don't believe on Git, you can check. Yes, it is totally cloned. So now let's say I am making some changes to. So first let's see what is the status. So what I am doing from now part, what I am doing, all the big developers, all the starting developers and us, they do the same thing. They check the status, they change it in the file. The main thing is changing the file, and then they first modify. Just remember 4 easy steps. I'm telling you 100 times. The first modification, then staging, then committing and pushing. So let's say the git status. So no, first let's say if we can go to any folder. Yes, we can go to the eduflex folder. We are not in the final folder. Yes, we are in the eduflex folder. If we are in the final folder, we can see there is a master written. Master means it is pulled from the GitHub. From GitHub repository, it is pulled. So it is written master. So now let's see the git status. Nothing to commit. Working tree clean. Working tree means if there is a queue. Queue means if there is like any road jam of changes. First changes, then a change. You have not committed it. You have not staged it. So there is no such working tree. Working tree is totally clean. So now let's say opening this. Let's say this post a job. I'm changing it to posting a new job. Okay. Now coming to Git. Git status, yes. It started working. Modify new post.html. No changes added to commit. Use git add. So now git add new post.html. Okay. It is added. What after add? Commit. I guess now you are familiar with the process. Commit -m. Change XYZ. So let's don't get into that. One file change, 329 insertion, 302 deletion. Why? You're telling me why? Why this much deletion? Because it is deleting the previous lines and then inserting a new line. So let's say it is just keeping. So 329 line is there. Okay, just see the calculation. When you do big projects, you have to know this calculation. There are 320 line and I am doing in the 65th line. So 320 line, it is calculating the line, it is showing how many deletion it need to make, and then it is doing. So 329 insertion. So 320 line were there. If you count, there will be 329. Yep, totally fine. 329. So now git. Let's check what is the condition here. New post.html. Post a job. It is still post a job. Fine. Just one enter away. Post it. One, two, three, 4, 5. May take 7 to 10 seconds time, but that is totally ignorable. Yes, posting a new job. Okay, fine. This is how the changes are done. Now I'm just going to a last Git demonstration part. So after that, branching and then I'll go to the Q&A part. So first of all, guys, are you getting interested? Are you getting interested in this topic? So that is the main purpose. So if I am boring you, then you can just please leave. So that was not my intention to bore you, but this topic is too much interesting. The work is rigorous, but topic is too much interesting. So let's say, so now I'm making two changes. So have a this and this. And in this one file, and also I'm changing something in this candidates file. So this change I will not show. I will show that how it will show. So this change I did. So now if you go to Git status, so there are two changes. And if you just write git diff, see, it is just showing you what change I did. I just entered some random stuff. Yeah. So this is the random stuff it is showing. Nothing important. So it is showing what change I did. Okay. This was the change I did. So if I want to push it, I can push it. If I want to pause it, I can pause it. So let's forget. So now see one thing, everything about Git cannot be demonstrated in one day. It will take at least 3-4 hours time to at least talk about this thing. So now I'm just going to the branching part. So Git branch. So the demo branch, the main branch is always the master. And if we can create a new branch, so there are two ways we can create. So if I can give you an example. You can buy a phone and keep it in your home, and later you can use it, and you can buy a phone and use it. So there are two options here. Branching also two options. You can create a branch and instantly go to that branch, and you can create a branch and later we'll go to the branch. So first, see, we just create a branch. Git branch new. So now let's see which branch we are in. So there are two branch, and the green mean the master branch we are in. So if we have to go to the next branch, we can just go to, see, the terms are so good. In the open source, the terms are too good. What you do when you go to a hotel, to another hotel, you check out from that hotel. Here too, you check out. You check out and go to new. Switch to branch new. So now let me check. Git branch is for which branch you are in. I am in the new branch. Okay. So now we have to create a branch and then we have to go to it. We have to git branch new, then git checkout new. But there is an option. Git minus b. Minus b means branch. Minus b, everything has meaning. Nothing is just for that. If there is any minus d somewhere, anywhere, that means delete. Minus rm means remove. Minus ls means list. So remember this when you are handling the any OS terminal or anything. So git checkout minus b means you are checking out already. You are checking out already from your hotel, and minus b is the key of your new hotel. So the new hotel is, let's say, hotel. Let's just say hotel. So I am already checked out, and I will just go to the new hotel. I will not wait for anyone. So now see, I will not do the checkout part, and I am already went to hotel. So this is checking out. You can either create a branch and check out. This is the most important part when you are handling a folder or anything, handling a repository or anything. So why branches are needed? Branches are needed because, so what I showed you. So let's say there is an admin branch, and let's say I am Sagnik and Aman and Shubhro. We three friends are working on a project. So let's say if we all make changes to the admin branch, then it is not that much good, right? So why should we all make changes to the admin branch? So the admin creates, or we create a new branch for we. Sagnik branch for me, Shubhra branch for Shubhra, and Aman branch for Aman. So they can change in their branch and later can pull request. So what is pull request? I'm just coming to that part. I'm in the hotel. So let's say 1 second. And which branch? I'm in hotel. So now I'm in hotel branch. And in the hotel branch, let's say I'm opening with code and hotel branch here. So this is a random. I'm writing random things. So now let's say, what is the Git status? So see, remember this bracket, this blue parenthesis shows which branch you are in. When I was in master, it was showing master. When I was in new, it was showing new. Now I'm in hotel. So remember this. Don't forget to
Sir,
check out. Yes. Hello.
I have a
Yes.
question.
Yeah, sure.
Sir, master branch is the default branch.
Master branch is a default branch. Every repository have a default branch. It is called the master branch. So the final change will be on the master branch.
Okay, sir.
Oh, thank you. And so I'm in the hotel branch. Remember, don't change another branch. Just make sure you are in your branch. So if I change something is Aman branch, then Aman will not be sure who changed it. So I have to change in my branch. So now I'm in hotel branch. And in the hotel branch, I have to see what change I did. So I change this. Okay, fine. And then I should So why it didn't do? Why commit wasn't done? Because the add wasn't done, because the staging wasn't done. Okay, you cannot skip one step. Okay, so let's see. What it is showing? It is showing that to push the current branch and set the remote as upstream, git push set upstream origin hotel. So as there are no branch, we created a branch here, but the branch wasn't created there and the branch wasn't pushed there. So we should do this. Okay. So you shouldn't bother this in the initial stage. I'm showing you just to. Okay. Yeah. The pushing was done. So now let's go to the Eduflex part. Yes. Now hotel has recent pushes less than a minute ago. So I am in the hotel branch. Remember, I am in the hotel branch. I am not in the master branch now. Here I am in which branch? Anyone? I am here in which branch now? I am in the hotel branch. So from the hotel, I cannot compare the admin. So to compare the admin, I have to create a pull request. So when you contribute to any organization, this is the key part. You will work in your branch. And if you change your branch, you can send them the pull request. What is pulling? Pulling means they will collect your code and add it to their server or add it to their code. So I can compare from the hotel branch, I can send a pull request. I am comparing, and don't worry, you can still create the pull request, can automatically merge. Why cannot automatically merge? Because I am in the hotel stage. I cannot merge the master stage. To change the master, I have to go to the master. So now let's leave a comment and create a pull request. Okay, I've created a pull request. These branches have conflicts that must be resolved. So what this means, that this pull request cannot be accepted. Totally fine. The master branch is not accepting the pull request. That's, remember, that depends on that. I am also a creator. So who is the creator? I am Shuvro. So I am Shuvro is the creator. If he accepts it, then it get accepted. There is nothing on that. So let's just create another pull request. The pull request part is main, guys. So let's say this is the repo for event. I'm going to the repo for the event. So I'm just following the steps and going to the repo. So now I'm in the repo. I'm in the main repo. Okay. So now let's create a branch. Git branch name. So now okay, I'm in the new branch, and in the new branch, let's say I'm changing something. Okay, and here I'm git add. What is the name of the file? Just first demo.txt, git add demo.txt -n and just a message. Okay, and now git push. Yes, it is no upstream branch, so just simply what they suggest, do it. Upstream branch means in the GitHub, in the web GitHub, there is no such branch. So now done. So now let's go to the GitHub. New has a new pull request. Compare and pull request. Create pull request. So I have created the pull request, and yes, these branches no conflicts with the main branch because I am the creator. I, Sagnik Mitra, is the creator, not I am Shuvro. So you see, I showed you two examples when you work with others and when we work with, say you are working with one branch and you are committing to another branch. So I am committing to my branch. So from my profile, I can accept the pull request. So let's merge the pull request. Confirm merge, and the PR merge is done. You will hear the term PR merge so much. PR merge means pull request successfully merged and closed, and I can delete the branch now. So this was about Git. So this is all about Git, and now I will just go to the presentation and just show you some little things about the open sourcing. So guys, if you have any doubt about GitHub, you can tell me now. If anyone has any doubt about GitHub, you can tell me now. Okay.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yeah, sure.
Sir, when we are creating a branch in the
Yes.
Git, then that folder remains the same.
Yes, the folder remains the same. The change is in the GitHub. In
Okay,
GitHub
okay,
there is a change. Here in the branch,
okay,
in the local system, you can create the branch and change it and later merge and create a pull request for GitHub.
okay,
Right?
sir.
Yes.
Thanks.
This thing, this intermediate or advanced thing, we can create the another meeting and talk there, because this thing will take time. Like understand everything about GitHub cannot be done in half an hour or 1.5 hours. But thank you for your question. It was a good question. That why only one folder was there? So what he asked. So what was your name? Who asked the question?
Shayan Saha.
Yes. So Shayan, so everyone, what question Shayan asked was, if you didn't understand, so he's told that, yeah, there is only one folder. So how is the branch? So the branch is here. So if we go to Sagnik and if we go to the repo for event, you can see there is two branch. Shayan, understand? The new branch is created here when you push it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now I understand.
Okay. Sure. Now this is the pull request part done. Now let's get back to the presentation. Okay. Sorry, but I am already committed to GitHub. This was a nice meme I saw today on Reddit. Yes. Sorry, but I'm already committed to GitHub. So this was a seriously nice meme I saw today on Reddit. So some famous open source program. So now you learn open sourcing and now you can utilize it so much. Google's out of code. So everything I wrote, everything in the list is hyperlinked to that particular website. So when I send you the PPT to the mail today or tomorrow, by tomorrow evening, I guess you will get the mail and the certificates also. So this is the Google Sound of Code. Google Sound of Code is a beautiful event. So previously it was a 3 months event, and now I guess it is down to 10 weeks, and it was previously 350 hours. But as in this COVID, we have classes, so Google made it 175 hours. So there is two basically evolution stage. First is community bonding, and the second stage is like coding part, and you have a mentor. So every open source program has this common structure. You have a mentor, you have some evolution, and you have a good stipend also. And also there is MLH fellowship, Google season of docs, October faced by DigitalOcean just ended. The Linux Foundation mentorship program, Hyperledger mentorship program, Focesia internship program. Focesia is one of the biggest open source organization in Asia, not in India only. Gulf Script Sound of Code. If you open LinkedIn, you can see so many people. Like I also target GSOC next year. So GSOC is that good, because if you target it 10 times, you might get it one time. It is that hard and that good. If you get connected to GSOC also, there is so much pressure and so much critical possibilities if you don't know open source that well, that you can get rejected from the program only after getting selected also. There is also Redux Summer of Code. There is also Open Summer of Code. And CNCF, you know already. Everyone in computer science have already heard about CNCF, the Community Bridge Mentorship Program. So thank you. Any question? All over the event, any question if you have.
Sir,
Yeah, sure.
sir, for that GitHub, if we
Yes.
suppose we write a coding in one folder, can we push it to another folder? Like it's kind of silly to ask, but
One
can
second,
we one folder to another folder?
your voice just got cut. Can you just repeat it?
Oh, sorry, sir. Sir, the question I'm asking that if we suppose suppose we're writing a programming in one folder,
Yeah.
okay, can we push the program or branch the program to another program? Like can we push the program to another folder? Like from this branch to the program for another branch?
Yeah. You can just in GitHub, you can just create, you can just remove the folder. So let's say you create a folder, you create a branch, and you go to the master branch. So let's say you want to just have the folder, you have to just have the folder in the branch, not in the main branch.
Okay, sir.
So just remove it from the main branch and create in that branch. But when you want to compare, you will see that in the main file, the folder or branch is not there, and the branch you are talking about is there. But remember, the main branch will have everything. That's because it's called the master branch.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Anyone else? Okay. So I guess guys, you have enjoyed today's session. Open source is so much enjoyable. Yes. So now something about me. So I'm a third year student of Christian University. I'm also a Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador. And you can connect with me on social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, GitHub, Twitter. I'm always open for any technological talks. And not only I can help you can also help me in many things. So you can have a good community. So you can send a request in Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, GitHub, Twitter also. And so that's for the program. So Aman, can I stop the recording now? Aman, can I stop the recording now?
Yeah, you can stop right now.
Yeah.
It's 2 hours, you can stop.
Okay.